An FL Studio tutorial. I've decided to do these because a couple people have hit me up to do them, and there's some things, some basic principles, I think, to making music that I haven't been able to find on other YouTube videos in FL Studio that I decided to share. This is my first tutorial, my first screen capture, anything, and if you knew how many takes this took, you probably would not even watch. It's just embarrassing how many takes it's taken. So I'm going to address why I've had to restart so many times first, so if you ever do these things. Okay, first off, right here it says max minutes it will record. It is set at 5. Well, my tutorial was 10 minutes long, and I didn't know that. So I redid it a whole bunch, and now I found it. It's right there. So I'm setting the max to 99 minutes. Default is 5 minutes max recording. So when you're doing a tutorial and you're using Edison to record, which I am, it's only 99 minutes is the max, but it will do it for 5 minutes, and I minimized it like this, like so. Hit it, there it is, now it's not. Hit it, and I did not see that it had restarted. So I will go ahead and hide that. Now we can get on with the tutorial. Another thing is, if you're recording in Edison and you think you deleted something that you didn't mean to, or you lost it, you can come over here to sliced beats, which these are all any beats that you've put into FL Studio's Edison and you've sliced and you've put in the playlist and sliced and deleted out of the playlist, they go right here. Anything I've ever worked on is right there. At the same time, recorded, anything you record and drag into the playlist, if you record directly into the playlist, it will be saved right here. So you can always go back and check your recordings just in case you ended up losing something. So there's that. Now what this is my first tutorial video. This is kind of a kickoff to let everyone know I'm doing tutorials, and at the same time cover the little things while I'm waiting for comments from you guys saying what you'd like to know. So, first thing, well now I guess that's like the third thing, but either way, whatever. That's we're splitting hairs now. This happened to me a couple months ago, and I could not find it for weeks, and I had no idea what to do, but this is your snap tool. This makes it to where when you're putting in a pattern, pattern 9, we don't have a pattern 9 FL Studio. By the way, I'm using FL Studio 10. When you put in a pattern, snap is what it snaps to. So right now it's snapping to main, which I have it on beat. So there it is. It's going from beat to beat. That's what it's snapped to. You can snap it to, we'll do none just so you can see the difference. None. See, it slides very smooth. If I zoom in, which I hate using the zoom tool by the way, it's not snapping. You can put it wherever. Well, this says snap right here. This is what sets what this is connected to, what this is going off of. So if that says main, and this says none, which is what happened to me, and I'm not sure how it happened, even though it's on main, it's not snapping. So for weeks, every song I made, I had to zoom in on every pattern and instance and line it up perfectly as well as I could, and then zoom back out and start all over, which to zoom out, a hot shift key is Control left click, and it'll zoom out. So I finally, there was no tutorial, there was nothing. I finally had to read FL Studio manuals and found out that that's where it is. So I snap it to beat, and I keep it at main, and now I don't have that problem anymore, and it was terrible. So, you might be noticing that I use legacy pattern blocks. If you don't know what legacy pattern blocks are, they were in older versions of FL Studio. FL Studio 10 is the last version that will have it, but I believed it stopped becoming default in FL Studio 8 or 9, maybe 9 I think, that it stopped coming in FL Studio when you open the default. You can go into Options, General Settings, and here under Advanced there's Enable Legacy Pattern Blocks. Highlight that, and I'll tell you why I think that's a good idea. Because when you have all these patterns, you can put patterns in here, down here. You never have to worry about if you're lined up or not, because they can't slide up. They can only slide right and left. You put your patterns in down here, and I think it's a lot easier to put my patterns in down here, and then up here in their slot, let's say for pattern 1, I can put all the automation clips right here, and effects, and all that stuff. And if it runs down and if I need 2 lines or multiple effects for one, I just think it's easier, because beforehand, before I knew about these, you know, you have tracks to where it's this small, where you can't even see because I have so many instruments and so many patterns and automation clips, and I think it makes it easier to have it like this. You're working with your automation clips. All your patterns are down here in blocks where you can have 30 patterns on top of each other, and it's very easy to see. It gives you room for all your automation clips or any effects you're doing up here. So that's what I do. Like I said, you can find that under Options, General Settings, under Advanced, there's Enable Legacy Pattern Blocks. So I go with that. Now, another thing that, even though I've been producing in FL Studio for a little over a year now, something that I never knew, that I never did, was you can go right here. Now, kick is automatically assigned to 1, but I'll take it off and I'll rename kick. Let's say you drag a sample in. Rename it. We'll rename it, not piano roll, we'll rename it tutorial. We'll just put tutorial. Tutorial. So now it's renamed tutorial. You drag in a sample, you can click this arrow in the top left corner, hit assign free mixer track. It assigns it to a free track, it even names it, and let's say you're using Massive or FM8, something that comes with a color up here, a plugin that comes with a color. When you do that, it will not only transfer the name, but it will transfer the color. And I think when you're making music, being organized really, really helps, because there's songs that I've made that are not organized at all, and when I go back and work on them for 2 or 3 weeks, it makes it really difficult having to search through it all. So it's nice that you can drag a sample in, whatever the name and the color is, you can just arrow this down, assign free mixer track, and it transfers the name, the color, everything, and it keeps it really, really organized. Now, another thing is, I want to look at real quick, which I only have 10 minutes on this, by the way, because I'm using a demo product for my screen record, because I've never done this before, and I didn't want to settle with one product and just buy it and hope that it was awesome. And I'm also kind of lazy, so I just got a demo and I'm trying it out, but the videos can only be 10 minutes long. But I wanted to look in 3XOSC. It comes with FL Studio, stands for 3 times oscillator because there's 3 oscillators. But I wanted to look at it because a lot of people like making dubstep, it seems. A lot of people are now into making dubstep and electronic music and getting wobbles, and something that is in almost every single plugin. I don't know if I've seen a plugin without it, is the word oscillate, or a knob that says oscillate, or something along those lines somewhere where there is an oscillate button or an LFO. LFO is low frequency oscillator. So you're seeing the wobble that you're going for, you'll see in the wave that you see in front of you. Which 3X oscillator is one that comes with FL Studio, and I do use it a lot, and you can get some awesome sounds out of it. But I wanted to explain that because for a long time, when I got a plugin, before I saw other tutorials on YouTube and looked at flstudio.com, their website, it's actually not flstudio.com, it's imageline.com, I never knew exactly what to look for when it came to automating something to do a wobble or whatnot. So you can actually obulate. Wow. Way to go, Cavalier. You can actually oscillate, which I know it kind of sounds self-explanatory, but if you don't know what oscillate means, oscillate is the wave oscillating, going up and down, up and down. Same as an LFO, low-frequency oscillator. It's just doing it with the low end, the bass end. But either way, Massive, FM8, all those plugins will have an LFO. You'll see like an oscillator tab or knob somewhere, and that's how you can do that very quickly. Another thing, I'll go ahead and insert mask. Another thing that a lot of people don't know: how do you automate one of these knobs in a plugin that's not an FL Studio native plugin? Because you can't right-click and hit Create Automation Clip. But a really easy way to do it, I'll just go to a preset real quick. What is this? Okay, so we have a timbra down here. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it makes it shaky. Let's say you want to automate that. You right-click, there is no automation. So if you go up here and you do, I think I go to Make Editor Thumbnail. I click on this. It takes a picture of it, puts it over here. I click on this, and look, timbre right there. It's named everything that's named in here. You can go to that. Boom. Create automation clip. It's in there. It's in your playlist. You can now automate it, do whatever you need to do, and your pattern is going to be there. Well, 2 was already in, wasn't it? So you can put it in just like that and put in a note, and you can hear what it's doing. Just a quick way to automate anything in a non-native plugin. You can do that. You can go here, make an editor thumbnail, click on it, and all the knobs will be named. So this is my first tutorial. I know I'm speaking really fast. I've only had 10 minutes, and I just want to cover some of those basic things, and hopefully on the next tutorial I can cover more. Comment down below with any tutorials you would like to see, and hopefully next time I can address it. And yeah, so that's it. Hopefully this is not a train wreck, and thank you for watching.